What is going on, everybody? And yesterday was a very, very unfortunate day in the world of gaming. Nintendo CEO and President Satoru Iwata unfortunately passed away at the age of 55, and the cause of death is apparently some form of a tumor that he had. And that really explains why he did not attend E3 this year, because I always wondered why he wasn't there. Now it makes sense, because apparently he was gravely ill. And it's very sad, because whether we agreed with everything that he has done in his career, whether we agreed or disagreed, we cannot deny the achievements he has had. He is a figurehead of not just Nintendo, but just the gaming universe in general. And he's done a lot of good things. If you actually look up his actual record, he's actually done a lot of extraordinary things. And I will link an article in the description that pretty much goes over a lot of his accomplishments, and a lot of it I didn't even know about, and is also just a great tribute in general. That will be in the description. And I've not agreed with a lot of the business decisions Iwata has made as CEO of Nintendo, but it is unfortunate that he has passed away. It's sad. But that's not the point of this video here. The point of this video is to do some real talk, because I feel we need some real talk right now, because this community right now, from a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, it needs this real talk, and needs it bad, because the amount of hypocrisy, the amount of personal attacks, and just the overall attitude of a lot of people that I've seen ever since this news broke is just, quite frankly, in my opinion, disgusting. So apparently, according to some people here, apparently if you decide to discuss a direction of a company or something like that is related to the person who has passed away, if you discuss anything that's outside of just normal grieving, apparently you're a vile and heartless individual. If anyone watching this truly believes that, you are so fucking wrong, it's not even funny. I can't even laugh at that statement. That's how just asinine that thought process is. It is perfectly normal for anybody to think about some type of project or something that is related to a person who has passed on, that is outside of just grieving for that person. It is perfectly normal. And I will give you some examples here. When Paul Walker, star of the Fast and Furious movies, passed away, unfortunately, in his car accident, I'm sure a lot of people wondered what was going to happen to Furious 7. Or what was just going to happen to the franchise in general. Are those people heartless and vile? Are they bad people for thinking that? Fuck no. No, they're not. They are not bad people for thinking about that. You can still grieve for someone and still wonder what the future holds. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Here, I'll give you a more personal example that maybe you people can relate to. My mother, in her will, or it's either there or somewhere, apparently the house that she's in right now, if she's already told me this, if she were to unfortunately pass away for any reason, the house is in my name. So, if that day ever were to come, and unfortunately it will happen, and I can only imagine how I'm going to be that day, when that eventually happens. I guarantee you I will be grieving and be very upset. But I can rest assure you, I will also be thinking about what the hell I'm going to do with this house I now own. This house I cannot afford. Not only that, that will add more stress upon me, but I can guarantee you I'm going to be thinking about it. Would you consider me a heartless and vile individual if I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with this house after my mother passes away, and I'm not just solely grieving for my mother? Am I a bad person for that? Fuck no. No, I'm not a bad person for that. I do not understand this mindset, because that's what I've been seeing from a lot of people in these comment sections in these videos about Iwata, that if you're not 100% grieving for Iwata, if you're even discussing the future of Nintendo, if you're discussing who's going to be in charge now, if you're discussing just what the future holds in general, if you're discussing anything like that, apparently you're a bad person. If you're not just solely grieving for Iwata. What you people need to understand is that people grieve in different ways. They handle their emotions in different ways. For example, some people like to just shut themselves in a quiet room, away and secluded from everyone else, and just bawl and cry their eyes out. Some people do that. Others need companionship to grieve. Whether it's their family, whether it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, whether it's just a best friend, they need that companionship in order to grieve. They can't be alone whatsoever. Some people grieve in different ways. Who the fuck are you to tell someone else how they should react, how they should handle their emotions when someone passes away? Who died and made you the boss of everyone else? I think that's a fair question, because apparently a lot of people seem to think that they can tell other people how they can act, how they can basically grieve about this news. It's disgusting. It really is. It always pisses me off to see other people try to tell other people what to do personally. And it's not in the way of giving suggestions in order to help someone. No, it's, oh, unless you're doing this, you're a bad person. If you think that, go fuck yourself. It's as simple as that. The last thing I want to discuss here, because I pretty much hit the nail on the head of what I just discussed. What I also want to discuss here is the blatant hypocrisy I've seen from a lot of people after the unfortunate passing of Iwata. I've seen a lot of people criticize Iwata. I've criticized Iwata. And actually, a lot of people have gone even harder against Iwata than I have. Now, all of a sudden, after he's passed away, a lot of these people have completely flip-flopped, and now Iwata is this extraordinary individual who can do no wrong, who we can't criticize whatsoever now that he has passed on. Hypocrisy really, it just disgusts me. It's the one thing I truly cannot stand, is blatant hypocrisy. It wasn't just 3 or 4 weeks ago that Iwata was being destroyed by people for the comments he made regarding E3. And I'm going to paraphrase here, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, that apparently he said something along the lines of that their E3 was more fun than Sony and Microsoft's because they had games to play and people seemed to have more fun at their booths, or something along those lines. And the funny thing is, a lot of live reports suggested the total opposite of that, and a lot of people criticized Iwata not only for those statements, but for the fact that he made those statements and he wasn't even there in person to greet any of the fans that attended that E3. Now we know why he wasn't there, because he was unfortunately gravely ill, but we can only go by what we knew back then. And Iwata was rightly criticized for that. But now it seems that he has passed away. It seems like that never happened. And we can't bring that up at all. I'm sorry, nobody is exempt from their past mistakes all because they have passed on from this world. They're not exempt from that. They still have a right to be criticized. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything that Iwata has done just because he passed on. Now, I will admit, there are a lot of scum out there that are, if you could believe this, they are happy that Iwata has passed on. And that they're kind of gleeful in that they... See, I can't even I can't even formulate this right now because I just can't believe somebody is just gleeful about this news. It's one thing to want change at Nintendo because I want change at Nintendo. And there does have to be a change in management. Iwata was included in that change in management. But something else could have happened instead of the person dying. If you're happy that Iwata died just to get change at Nintendo, you're a sick individual. There's nothing to be happy about here. This is just sad and depressing all around. Not just because Iwata has passed on, and despite the fact that there was plenty of negative connotations to the decisions he has made, he has done some good things in this industry, and they can't be discounted. So, it's shocking. It shouldn't be shocking to me that people were happy about this, but there is scum on the internet, and they unfortunately do exist. But I'm sorry. Iwata, even in death, still has the right to be criticized over the decisions he has made. And if you attack anybody just for criticizing a decision Iwata has made, and they're actively, constructively criticizing him, and you still attack that person, you're fucking wrong. You are fucking wrong. And you can't use the excuse, oh, now is not the time to do this. Well, once again, who the hell died and made you in charge of the countdown timer to when we could start criticizing somebody again? Nobody did. People can grieve their own way. People can take this news how they want to take it. We're all different individuals. Or we're supposed to be. And quite frankly, if you don't like what someone has to say about this type of news, you can always click that red X in your browser and just move on. Nobody's forcing you to watch videos of these people. Just like nobody is forcing you to watch my video here if you disagree with it. You're more than welcome to click that X. You're more than welcome to unsubscribe, unfollow. Do whatever the hell you want. I don't fucking care. But I can't fucking stand how people are acting over this news. I mean, would Iwata want this to happen? Think about that. Would Iwata want all of this dissension in the gaming community? No, he wouldn't. So, not to beat a dead horse here, because I've been known to do that. If someone is if you're really upset about Iwata passing, really upset, and someone else is bothering you over it, just ignore the fucking person and move on. It's as simple as that. You don't have to attack them, because it's just a waste of time, and you only make yourself look bad for doing it. Now, if you want to go after someone who's actually joking about this, and who is actually happy about Iwata dying, then by all means, you should do that, because that person deserves to be raked across the coals, because that's just a sick mindset those people have. But I'm seeing innocent people really just, all they were doing was just wondering about the future of the company, and they're just being attacked like they wish death upon Iwata himself, and that's wrong. And I know I'm going to be attacked as well. And I see that as wrong, because I am really upset about the passing of Iwata. It's really upsetting, because he's a figurehead in the gaming community. And it's always upset to see a figurehead pass on, regardless if I didn't agree with everything they did. But you know what? Take it as what you will. This video is over. I just felt that this real talk needed to happen. It needed to happen. And hopefully hopefully we all calm down in the next few days and we just pretty much everything goes back to normalcy or at least close to it. I hope that happens. So, alright, that's about it. I will talk to you all later. Have a good one.